way I look at this is from step one all the way to picking up the final check, I'm constantly selling. Bring your A game, but all the way through. Now we have two offices, and this office is new, it's small. There's no reason with us being the size that we are, we have any other experience, really. That's what I'm kind of obsessively focusing on, but in order to make sure that that happens, I gotta give you guys all the things to do and how to do them so we ensure that this moves through quickly. I've been in this game for a really long time, and they were scouting guys like me, 24-year-old young guys right out of college, hungry. I don't know that they exist anymore, man. I mean, good for you. I'm loving that you're here, right? Like, you work your butt off and have a good attitude and a good work ethic, you're gonna leave everybody your age in the dust. Know your stuff. That's where confidence comes from. That's where being confident on the door and being able to clearly articulate to most homeowners, when they say no, including in rural areas around here, they just don't understand what you're saying. You've got to break someone's preoccupation. This is all in there, right? Like, you knock the door, the first order of business is to break preoccupation. The reason being is if you don't, they're not gonna hear anything you say. And the way I look at this is from step one all the way to picking up the final check, I'm constantly selling. Bring your A game, but all the way through. Don't just tell me what I want to hear to get the signature done. Like, then what about when it gets installed? And even though you may not have control over those things, you're still the point of contact. We want you guys to be that client relationship management team the whole time, the whole way through, right? We'll handle the adjusters, we'll argue with them, we'll get everything approved. We need you guys constantly and obsessively communicating with your clients. You can't over communicate. I used to touch base with my clients, I won't say daily, but what I did do early on was I said, look, this is what I do, Mr. and Mrs. Jones. 2 days a week, I do follow-up calls. Every Tuesday, every Friday, I'm gonna be calling to fill you in on where we're at in progress. Every time I call Tuesday and Friday, whether I call, text, or email, I make sure they see it. And what do you think that does the first time and every time thereafter that I do that? It reinforces we made a good decision. And the first time you don't do that, you say you're gonna do something and you don't, you could lose a client and you damn sure are going to lose credibility. Anything people put effort into or put on Front Street is done so because they value that. And those are the things we want to talk about. If I got my car, my Vet that I sold, but I mean, like, I completely rebuilt that. That was my baby. Every nut, bolt, engine, everything was done the way, I mean, I completely rebuilt it. And it was obvious I love talking about it because you can see I take care of it. You see something like that in the driveway, man, that's the first thing I'm talking about, right? So I'm going to do my icebreaker, which is something of their interest. We need to break their concentration for enough of 15, 30 seconds to really truly hear what I'm saying, which is I am offering you the opportunity for me to do all this work and you to get a free roof. And that's really what it boils down to. I'll work with you guys some one-on-one and some rebuttals and some things that we've been hearing. And what I would challenge you to is until next week, I'll come back out next week, whether that's Monday or Wednesday, and we'll have I'd like you guys to send me those objections at the end of the week, things you heard you couldn't beat. And we'll write out some responses to that. I don't care if you put them on flashcards or your phone, but burn that response into your brain so the next time it happens, if you're like me, it won't happen twice. It's not without me having a response for you, because I don't like feeling stupid and I don't like feeling underprepared. I'm very competitive. If you're sitting in here, you're probably the same way.